Please be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is the case of Childress versus Davis.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Childress, you have petitioned the court for a DNA test to prove to your fiancé that he is the father of your 3-month-old daughter, Isabella. You need today's DNA results in order to keep your family together. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Davis, you stand here in court hoping and praying that you are Isabella's biological father, but say you have medical evidence which may prove otherwise. And if that's not enough, the plaintiff's very own mother says you are not the father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Childress, explain why today's results are so important to you.
So I can prove to my fiance, my mother, my family, and not only his family, but everybody who doubts that that is his daughter. And I'm just ready for him to have that peace in his heart and in his mind, to know that that is his little girl.
Mr. Davis, you say you want nothing more. I see the tears in your eyes.
Yes, Your Honor. I've been wanting to be a family man forever, and the day I found out that I was a dad, it changed my whole world. And to know that I have a little girl in my life, but not knowing whether or not she's mine, it hurts. It hurts deep. All I wanted to do is to be a father, but I have got to know whether or not I am the father of that little girl.
What does it feel like to live with that doubt?
It hurts. It hurts dramatically that I had so much faith in Samantha, and she broke that faith, and it now broke my heart.
So as you look at Isabella, those beautiful pictures of you, what goes through your mind?
That I want to be with her the rest of my life, spending the rest of my life making sure that she didn't make the same mistakes I did in life, no matter what that takes. And if I'm lucky, maybe she'll still call me daddy.
Ms. Childress?
Yes, Your Honor.
I have to take you back to a very difficult time because we need to discuss how we got here. So, your relationship. Take me back to your relationship during the window of time when Isabella was conceived.
I had just moved out of my mother's home and moved back in with him. Our relationship, it has been rocky. There have been ups and downs. And I have stood by him through everything that has happened. And my doctor had told me that that window when I wrecked my car is the week I got pregnant.
So, Mr. Davis, can you take me to the day you found out Ms. Childress was pregnant?
Yeah, I was very excited when I found out she was pregnant. I immediately went to the store. I wanted to make sure, so I went to the store, bought 5 more tests. I made her take every one of them, and they all come back positive. And you know, in my head, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have a little boy. I already had my mindset we were gonna have a little boy, so I was thinking football and touchdown. So, and turns out we was having a little girl, so now it went from football to touchdown to tea parties and tutus. and you know, excitement was there, but there was also fear now because I didn't know anything about little girls. I didn't know, okay, well, how do I change them? How do I take care of them? How do I do this? How do I do that? I call around, I ask family members, and well, one thing led to another. I'm talking to family members, and that's when the rumors start coming out. That's,
Can you be specific about these rumors? What did you hear?
Family members are telling me that she was talking to her exes again, and it hurt. It hurt bad, and it definitely put doubt in my mind whether or not Isabella was even mine. And it really hurt. It hurt emotionally. It felt like I just lost my chance at the American dream. One thing led to another. We ended up splitting up. Shortly after splitting up, not even a week later, she was living with her ex.
I was not living with my ex, Your Honor. I was living with my mother. I had moved back in at home.
And why does that upset you so?
Because everybody's saying this to him, and it's not true, none of it.
Were you having sex with your ex?
No, ma'am. I was not.
Were you talking to him on the phone?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
But you thought there was more going on, Mr. Davis.
I did.
And people were telling you there was more going on.
Yes, they was.
And that she was really living over there with him, but pretending like she was living with her mother.
That's correct.
Now, I'm not saying you're lying, Ms. Childress, and you're so upset, but that scenario does sound more in line of what we hear in this courtroom.
Yes, Your Honor.
There's other things that made me doubt as well. I have medical issues that suggest that I may not even be able to have children.
Be specific.
A few years ago, quite a few years ago, I was 22, went to the doctor. I felt testicular pain. Went to the doctor. I thought it was cancerous. Turns out it was not. But he was able to tell me that I have a 45% chance or less to even have children.
So what were the symptoms? What was happening?
The pain was for one, and it happened over a period of years. And also, my right testicle had shrunk down dramatically in size to 1/8 of the original size.
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. Your testicles shrink to 1/8 of its size, and the doctors tell you you may not be able to have kids.
That's correct, Your Honor, yes. And that hurt more than anything. because I want nothing more than to have not only Isabella, but multiple children with Samantha. I plan on marrying this woman one day.
I'd like to get more information concerning your medical condition. So I'd like to call on Dr. Jamila Gator. Jerome, can you please escort the doctor into the courtroom?
Thank you.
Okay.
Hello, Dr. Gator.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us. We are here discussing the paternity of baby Isabella. You've been listening to the testimony. Mr. Davis has described a medical issue he's been experiencing where he says one of his testicles has been shrinking to almost 1/8 the size, and he's been experiencing pain. So as a result of this condition, Dr. Gator, do you believe there's a strong possibility that Mr. Davis may not be able to have children?
The sperm is actually made inside of the testicular tissue. So if there's little testicular tissue, then that affects the sperm counts. Low sperm counts can definitely affect your ability to father a child.
So this could very much play a role
Yes.
in his ability to father children.
Yes.
But it is a possibility that he still could very well father a child, be Isabella's biological father.
I mean, if the other testicle is completely normal, doesn't have any damage or atrophy to it, it could function normal, and then it could make up for the lack of the other testicle that's atrophied.
So hearing that, Mr. Davis, does that give you hope, or does that just confirm in your mind what you've already been told, which leads you to have this doubt?
It gives me hope that that little girl could be mine, because it only means the world if she is.
Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Gator. I really appreciate it.
Thank
Jerome,
you.
you may escort Dr. Gator. So now we've heard, Mr. Davis, that there is hope, that this condition may not preclude you from fathering a child. But you say there is still more doubt.
There is.
Can you talk about that?
It's her mother, the day that she was in labor. After speaking with the nurses, about 30 minutes later, I get a phone call from her mother. Her mother had told me to stop calling the hospital, that she has been put on a no-info patient list, and that if I made any attempt to come to the hospital, that Security B would be on standby to escort me off the premises.
What?
As
Yes.
well as telling me that I was not the father that the other man was.
Why would your mother say this?
My mother hasn't really liked him as much because of our rocky relationship and the issues we have had. But I'm hoping this will help in their relationship for my mom to finally have the peace and let me have my family together, which is something I want more than anything in this world. Because I can't wait to marry him.
Well, I'd like to understand more about why a mother would basically block her grandchildren from their potential father. Jerome, will you please escort Miss Heitch into the courtroom, please?
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Heitch.
Thank you.
Miss Heitch, we've heard some very concerning testimony.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe Mr. Davis is Isabella's biological father?
I'm really no. I don't believe that, and I have a reason. Right before she got back together with Mr. Davis, she was dating another gentleman, and I mean it was very, very quick. She and this guy broke up, and a week later she was with Mr. Davis, and then next thing I know, she's pregnant.
Did she ever tell you the other guy was the father?
She never, she never said it, but I suspected they were, having relations.
No,
So
you're
you-
not, Your Honor. We were not at all.
They were having relations.
Ma'am.
I'm scared to ask, how do you know? But I need to know, how do you know?
Oh, she tells me everything. Right before they got back together, before she got pregnant, that's, before I found out she was pregnant. Yeah, they were having relations.
What is happening here?
I have no idea, Your Honor. I couldn't even believe my mom would say that when none of that is true.
Your Honor, I love my daughter. I really do. I really want to be able to believe her, but my daughter is a pathological liar. And the problem is that if it turns out that Mr. Davis is not the father of this baby and they break up, the baby is more than welcome to come stay with my house, but Samantha has burned her bridge and she's not allowed there.
I don't know what to believe. I really don't. I really don't.
I really hope that he is. He's been nothing but good
He
to that
hopes
baby.
he is. She hopes he is. I hope he is. At this point, I'm just like, what in the world? How can life get this complicated? You all are so young.
It's a mystery, yeah. I mean, really.
And what if he isn't? Miss Childress, do you know who is?
Yes, Your Honor, I would.
So that means there is another possibility. I know that just took the air out of your sails, Mr. Davis, and I hated to bring you up to break you down. But sometimes getting to the truth does that.
If it's any consolation, he's a much better parent to Isabella.
This just keeps getting worse and worse.
And I love her, but I can't honestly trust what she says to me.
I can't trust nothing. Right now. Thank you. I can't trust nothing but what's in this envelope because I know it's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. There's too many stories. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Childress versus Davis, when it comes to 3-month-old Isabella Childress, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Davis, you are the father.
Can I go hug them? Can I hug them?
I told you.
Samantha, stop. Welcome to the family. Okay? Welcome to the family. Officially.
Look at that smile. I haven't seen that all day. I love it. What a beautiful smile. You so happy, right? How does it feel to know for certain? Can you put it into words?
Oh, 2 twos and tea parties.
Exactly. Get ready, Daddy. You're gonna have your nails painted, toenails, everything. This is a beautiful thing. And I was serious before I went to those results. There were so many stories, I couldn't figure out what to believe. And I'm just so grateful that all of you had the courage to come into this courtroom today so you can get down to the bottom of this for this beautiful little girl before she has to grow up and suffer through these types of questions and confusion, because it's no way to live, is it?
No, it's not.
The only problem with that type of operating system is it will continue unless you change. This takes a lot of work, but Isabella's worth it. And I want you to get started right now with Dr. Jeff. And I want you to be honest about what you feel, what you've been through, what you've done, and most importantly about what you want, so he can help you figure out how you can get there. I wish you all the very best. Court is adjourned.
Thank you, Your Honor.